As disruptive as this may seem for the monkeys and would have landed Bad Boon with a fine of $200, blimps in real life don't produce enough noise to scare anyone. And if we take into the consideration that his assistant has a license to fly one, Bad Boon wouldn't face any consequences here. It took me a while to analyze what was going on, but after rewatching the scene a few times I counted 3 houses having their bananas stolen and a singular monkey holding onto the palm tree. They are also shown in danger of being sucked into the vacuum. While Bad Boon's vacuum isn't that dangerous, it would still land him behind bars for 8 years. It's honestly quite hard to blame Meemee here. Forced marriage is a crime and can land Bad Boon anywhere between 2 to 3 years in jail. And he does it a second time in Chapter 5's ending cutscene, so I can get that out of the way. I'll just give him 6 years of jail time, because I don't want Meemee to get mad at me next. This is honestly what drove me to make this video in the first place. Bad Boon not only puts a timed explosive in a volcano threatening to sink Jungle Island into the ocean, but he also does not take into consideration that there are innocent monkeys on the island. While the island does not sink and he didn't plan to harm the monkeys, let alone AA and his friends, I am still giving him 120 years of jail time. I'll be honest, as much as I want to sentence Bad Boon 4 years in jail and a fine of $44,000, he at least tries to warn AA and his friends. And since the whale came from behind AA and not on Bad Boon's word, nothing can be levied against him. You gotta applaud AA for defending Meemee here. Bad Boon literally tried to give Meemee a message here without her consent. It's unclear what else Bad Boon may have tried to do here, but he is getting 6 months in jail with a fine of $2,000, since what else could he have been planning? Judging by what Bad Boon says here, he plans to unleash the AA robots to not only steal the bananas but also to frame AA. This would not only land Bad Boon behind bars for 16 years, but he would also have to pay $10,000. Also, for the frame of crime, I had to look up a Mouse 8 video, because Google was not being in my favor during this part.
Ai, så rồi nó vui thế. Ja, quan. Eu ser Meemee, Zero. Ja, så verschnäppte det bästa vad jag was.
Considering that Bad Boon had a sign outside that said not to enter without his permission, him using his shrink ray is justifiable as self-defense. I'm willing to give him some slack here, but what I can't justify here is the fact that he takes them to Adventure Forest, which is obviously kidnapping, even though it isn't implied. And since he kidnapped 4 monkeys, he'll get 20 years behind bars. Don't worry, I won't show the rest of the scene Bad Boon is in. I can only imagine how many YouTubers got grossed out seeing that. Anyway, it may seem weird that Bad Boon is taking a bath out in the open. The area he is doing it in represents a hot spring or some sort of Japanese bath area. I'm not that cultured in Japanese bathing honestly, but based on the setting it would be perfectly fine.
Ja, sit here with me, would ya? I walk down to it. Seriously, doing that out there, I'm tired of it. Star Wars, doing armor.
I should point out that based on the backgrounds in World 8, Bad Boon's robot factory takes place in Big Ben's tower in London. While that is fine for some reason, any explosions or dangerous faults could damage Big Ben. On top of that, the stairs have no handrails on the right side. I have no idea what the penalty is for building an unsafe robot factory or the damage of Big Ben, since the explosions in World 8 never damaged the tower, but based off Mouse 8's sentencing grew for his unsafe factory, Bad Boon would have a possible 10 years in jail, a fine of $250,000 and his robot factory shut down. While turning bananas into curry isn't illegal, for these monkeys it feels illegal. In Bad Boon's case, he plans on making all of Earth's bananas taste like curry. I honestly don't know what this would fit into, but the closest sentence I could come up with was a death penalty. Overall, Dr. Bad Boon really lives up to his name in Super Monkey Ball 2. Shockingly, the only cutscenes where Bad Boon broke no laws were into cutscenes. Those being World 3's ending cutscene and World 6's ending cutscene. True, some may argue that Bad Boon didn't break any laws in World 10's ending cutscene, but he was continuing his plan from World 9's ending cutscene. And since Meemee is getting tired from having to go through all of this, let's see his final sentence.